So good evening, ladies. For those of you that have not met me before or been on one of my trainings, my name is Melanie Brooks and I am a product strategist and a creative business coach. And as we're going through this free and live training, I'm going to share what that exactly means to you. But the main takeaway from this for your business is how you can launch a product in 90 days, because it's all about getting results. I'm results driven, and it's about bringing in new income. It's about launching your business with success. That's basically what I do in a nutshell. So before we start, I know we're all super busy. I'm the world's worst or best at multitasking, but what I would say is turn off your Facebook, turn off your phone, anything that's going to distract you, because give yourself permission to really listen in, take notes, take screenshots so that you can use this in your businesses. It's really important we give ourselves that time. I want to keep it to 45 minutes maximum. What I will be doing is, as we go through this, I'm going to answer any questions. At the end, I'm also going to do a Q&A. So anything that I haven't covered or anything personal to you in your business, then I will cover that. And if you like what you see, what I'm also going to do is show you how you can work with me and what it is I do. So my mission is here. I help women create multi-dimensional businesses. So if you are a coach, if you are, whether that be fitness, beauty, success or business, if you are a blogger, if you have a product-based business already, or you want to launch a product-based business, and this is for you. What I absolutely love to do is create businesses that bring in additional income streams, because that's exactly what I've done, and there's a huge benefit for doing that, as I'm sure you can imagine. And for me, it's not about fitting in one box. It's not about saying this is what I do and I don't do anything else. We're all multidimensional beings, and you know, how boring would it be to just be one-dimensional in everything we do? So I'm very passionate about that, and that's why it's my mission to help as many fabulous females as possible do that. Plus, I know I bring something new to the table. This journey came about, I'll talk to you a little bit about my journey, but my journey came about because I could see that there was a huge gap in the market to be able to bring product knowledge to the table, as well as business strategy, as well as service implementation. So I would describe myself as a career mummy. I have been in the fashion buying industry for the last 20 years. Yeah, I did it about 20 years, which feels crazy that it's 20 years ago that I started buying products and launching products, but it is. Time flies when you're having fun. I would, as a buyer, and for people who know what that is, they see it as glamorous. Let me tell you, it's not always glamorous. Traveling the world is amazing. I've been to some amazing places, but we work hard for what we do. My last position was at boohoo.com. If any of you guys have heard of Boohoo, let me know with a yes. But I started there 6 years ago, or maybe it will be longer now actually, because I left in so maybe 7 or 8 years ago I started, and it was when it was an unknown brand. What we did as a team and with my department is I built a buying office, and I ran mini businesses within businesses, heading up the buying team, and that's ultimately what buyers do. We control budgets, we launch products, we source, we strategize, we help with the marketing campaigns, we product select. We literally do everything that's linked to that product, and that's why I could see a gap in the market, because I could see women with amazing product ideas or amazing business models who were focusing on maybe social media and focusing on their adverts or how to get the product out there, but they missed a big chunk of how to select correctly and how to source. I then could also see another massive gap in the market with service-based entrepreneurs who have a list. I work with women who've got amazing email lists or groups or service-based programs and serve at their tribe. Their tribe love what they do, but they don't offer physical products. And you know, the thing with that is you're missing another income stream. The key to any product is serving your customer base or your potential customer base. So if you've already got that in front of you, for those with tribes already, then it's a bit of a no-brainer to be able to launch a product. What I like to do, and my approach, is about making it as slick and easy as possible, which hence the 90 days, and also hands-free. So if you've got other businesses that actually you can create a product line or a product business where you don't have to be running back and forth from the post office, managing deliveries, and I'm going to cover some of that as well within this training so you can see exactly how you can do that. So let me know, ladies, if you're on here as a coach or a blogger, or you just want to start a product business, or maybe you've got one. So just let me know who I've got on here. It'd be really lovely to see all the different backgrounds. So a little bit deeper into who I am. I have 3 children. Within my career, I had my 2 boys, but I was never at home. As you can imagine, I was offshore, I was sourcing, I was all over the world, and it just stopped fitting with what I was doing. I loved buying, but it just stopped fitting. I decided I would love to add to my family, and that's when I started my entrepreneurial journey, and that was 3 years ago. I stepped into a completely different business model. I'll be honest, I'd never even heard of coaching. One of my favourite things to do when I was launching mini businesses within businesses was grow the team, because I could be really hands-on and develop people into buyers, and from admins right up to senior buyers and heads of buying. I absolutely love that element. But when I stepped into the online world, I didn't realise that coaching was basically a job, and I fell in love with the first business. I fell in love with the coaching side, but I'd stepped out of product. I wasn't touching product, I wasn't developing product, I wasn't able to help people with developing products. So I just missed it, and I just didn't feel aligned with what I was doing. And that's another area of what I'm really passionate about, is making sure that I'm aligned with what I'm doing, but also my clients, because it doesn't work if you've got, it doesn't matter how good you are at something, if you are not feeling it, if you are not passionate, if you don't have that fire in your belly about it, things stop working. It stops. That whole law of attraction, that whole growth in your business, it stops. So for me, that was at that point that I decided that I needed to launch my product-based business. I want to make sure you guys can still hear me. Telling me, is my sound back on? I believe my connection has just right, we're back on. Sorry ladies, I don't know what's going on there. It's a little bug in the system. So we've got health, just going back to, we've got health and fitness coach, we've got bloggers on, yes, you could have Boohoo, amazing. You're starting product businesses. Amazing. So we've got a whole host, and what I was saying just before it decided to cut out on me is it's all about being aligned with what you want to do, what you're passionate about, and what you can bring to the table in terms of your business. And that's how I suppose I amalgamated my love of coaching, the love of supporting people alongside the product. So I do both. So I just want to share a couple of results with you from ladies who I absolutely love, but just to show you that the backgrounds doesn't matter. It's more about having that vision. So Rosie is a blogger. She has a huge following. She's a blogger in the fitness industry. She basically started blogging about her weight loss journey, and people just fell in love with her and followed her on social media, and she was smart enough to recognize that there's other things she could serve her audience with. And that was about launching a really exciting fitness diary stroke planner stroke yearly tracker. So something that was very unique to her, very unique to what she was putting out there in terms of content. And she did that by engaging with her audience, because they were already there, understanding their needs, went through the research, like literally went through the whole process. What Rosie was able to do was she was able to sell 300 copies in a pre-launch phase because her audience was already there. So if you haven't got an audience, it's fine, you can still build a business, it's just a different approach. Now with her profit on the planner, it was £12.10 per planner that she was making, sourced it from China. So that profit alone, with them 300 pre-launch, that was before the goods were delivered, people signing up and pre-ordering before that stock hit anywhere, was 3,600. So it shows if you are in the service-based industry and you have got a client base, it shows what's possible because you're taking that leap forward. And that's what made it successful, is that she already had that order. Case study 2. Angela is a completely different situation. She's creating a multi-dimensional business. She is starting a service-based industry, but she's also starting selling products as well. And on average, it's £7 to £15. She's got a wider range of profit per product. And again, mapped out, it's retailing 2 per day at the beginning. So keeping it really nice, really consistent on a small basis. That's £420 to £900 profit per month. So again, the strategy behind that is going to be very different from Rosie's position, because it's then more about list building and platform and audience and developing that. So 2 very different ladies with very different backgrounds who are able to maximise and develop product-based businesses around what they're already doing. So tonight I'm going to cover the launch your product business in 90 days, and I've made it really, really simple. It's around the 3 S's of success. So let's dive straight in. Selecting. Selecting is the first step that you want to master on the journey. It's research driven. So if you're thinking this is about, you know, grabbing a product and running with it, yes, that's great, but you want to make sure you've ticked off all the research points, because this is the foundation of your business. This is what's going to allow you to create a marketing campaign further down the line that works, because you know exactly what's going on underneath what you're choosing. I recently did a 7-day challenge with the lovely ladies in my group, and we went through some of these. So we went through researching product ideas, researching audience, putting it into action, talking to that audience. So researching product ideas. If you've got an idea now, brilliant. But what you also want to do is basically research lots of different avenues of products as well that fit with what you want to achieve, because you want to make sure you've got choices when it comes to sourcing. Because if you're very, very narrow, it can become a little bit harder. If you've got no idea of what it's going to cost you, if you've got no idea what you can physically get from your supply source, then I would always recommend researching, having lots and lots of ideas, and then narrowing down. It just gives you some choices further down the line. You want to have products that make your heart sing. You want to have products that have got demand. And there's a couple of different ways. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip of how you can do that. Go with what you feel passionate about, but you also want to make sure there's demand. And you can check, and there's a sense check in a couple of different ways. One being Amazon is a great place if you are doing non-clothing products to do some research. It's thousands and thousands. I mean, it's just huge, isn't it? I'm sure all of you shop on Amazon. Let me know if you don't, because I'll be really surprised, but please let me know if you don't shop on Amazon. What you want to do is you want to go and research your category or your product. You want to be looking for the BSR. It's called the BSR, and it's in the product notes. When you click into a product, you'll see the BSR in there. If it's anywhere between 100 to 1,500, around 3,000, you've got a product there that's got demand. So that means that people are wanting that product, people are buying it. It gives you a little bit of comfort. And there's lots of different variations of that product, so you know you need to research a few, but it's one way to check whether you're looking at a product that's got demand. You want to also, you can use keywords within Google, so you can look at Google Trends. You can, I think you have to sign up for an account, but it's free. You don't actually have to launch a campaign or anything like that, but once you've signed up, you can, I'm sure you can use for free Google Trends. Type in there your product. See what the search terms for your product is in terms of trends. Is it seasonal? Is it starting to decline? Is it something that's steady, which is amazing if it is? Is it something that's growing? Even better, because you can maximize it. So there's just a couple of ways that you can, I suppose, give yourself another sense check in terms of your ideas before you get on to the next stage. Research your audience. I always recommend, and I've got some, if you've not signed up for any of my email PDFs, my free ones, then let me know because I can get them to you. But you want to research your audience. For me, that starts with, who do you want to serve? Who is your ideal customer? And you want to get that on paper and be really, really descriptive. Where do they like to shop? What is it that gives them that buzz? What is it that they hate? What causes their decision purchases? Who do they buy for? What are their spends? Put it down on paper. The next part to that is proving it, and the only way you're going to do that is speaking to your audience. Now, the lucky thing is we've got social media. There are thousands of groups out there. You've got friends, I'm sure, from all walks of life. You've got to start asking people. You want to be really strategic in your questions. So a great way to do that is you've got SurveyMonkey, which is free. There's other tools as well. It's not just the only one, but SurveyMonkey I use. I think you can have up to 9 questions that you can send out for free. So you don't even have to sign up for an account. You can get in front of people and think about the types of questions that are really going to give you information back. Don't be afraid to ask, because you'll be surprised at how many people really want to help you. But you've got to start to prove what you're thinking. If you've already got an audience, if you've got a group, if you've got clients, ask them. But again, do it in a strategic way. You know, sometimes just saying, "Oh, I'm going to launch a product. What do you think of this?" The chances are that response is going to be, "Oh yeah, that's amazing." But what you want to know is, what would they want from the product? What would make them buy? Is it a price point? Is it a colour option? Is it this? Be really descriptive and get some real detail out of it. The next stage is researching your competition. Now, we didn't go through this on the challenge, but it's a really important part of what we do. You want to know your competition, and that's who they are, what they do, what products they offer, why they offer them. Do they have different price points of the same product? We call it, in the industry, we call it good, better, best, and you'll find that most companies follow that structure where they can have loss leaders up to premium products. It makes that, I suppose we do it so that we've got a choice for consumers who are within our target audience. You want to understand what value they offer, so that you can then start to think about your product. How are you going to connect with your competition and your audience? How are you going to make your product stand out? It then allows you to start researching and developing your USP, and what I mean by that is your unique selling proposition. So once you've got your unique selling proposition nailed, then the key thing with that is you can then use it later on further down the line in your marketing campaigns. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. That might be you launch a makeup range that is for sensitive skin, or it might be that you launch a clothing range that is designed for the fuller figure, or you might have a gym bag that actually you've found that your gym bags just don't do what you need them to do as a female coach. So, you know, these things around your products that you're going to think about how you can make them better or how you can make them different for your audience, and that's where you start to look at your USP. Does that make sense for everybody? Let me know that I'm still, let me have a look and make sure I'm not missing any questions. So any questions on selecting or product selecting? Any questions you'd like to ask me, ladies, before I move on? Let's see if they pop up. Okay, so we are all good. Now, the key with this, if you do this wrong, you will have no foundation. So what I touched upon earlier, it's like building a house because you want a beautiful kitchen, but you really can't be bothered putting the foundations in. At some point, it's just going to collapse. All that hard work making a beautiful kitchen, it's got nothing to stand on, and it's just going to sink. It's the same with product and business building. In fact, it's the same with any business building, whether that's service or product. You've got to lay the foundation. So the first part of product selecting is all around research. You cannot do enough of it as long as you do it in a confined or in a time driven by time, so that you can then move on to the next stage. What I do find is people will get stuck in the research phase and don't move past it. So you don't want to end up in that, but you do want to do enough research that you've got enough information. If you do this right, you'll have a product that your tribe is hungry to buy, that your potential customers cannot wait to get their hands on, and it works time and time again. So sourcing, the second S of success is sourcing. Let me know if this is an area that you want to know about, if there's any specific questions while I'm just running through this, and I will do my very best to answer them. So sourcing, there's different ways you can source. You can source from wholesalers. Wholesalers are where you will, they're all over the country, and in fact they're all over the world, but you will go into a wholesaler, you can buy the stock there and then, you can do it online as well. You will, the thing with wholesalers, you can buy minimum products, which is amazing. So if you want to buy 3 of something or 6 or something, that's it. You don't have to invest in lots. So it's really, really low investment. However, you can't change it. It will come with the labels that it's on. It will be found elsewhere. It won't be any different because they sell it en masse, and that's how they can do 2-3 units, because they're selling to other people doing 2-3 units. So you've got wholesaling, you've got arbitrage, which is basically where you pick up stock. So this is great if you really love trading. I wasn't a buyer who did trading. It wasn't my thing. I love product developing too much. But if you really love trading, you can go and pick up deals from huge department stores. Watch out for the offers. Watch out when they're clearing, and get them and sell them on your own platform, or sell them on eBay, or do what you want to do with them, but make a profit on that, buying that product in. The thing with that is it's hard to build a brand with, but it can bring you a good income. The next is private label sourcing or white label sourcing. This is the bit that I love. This is the bit that I coach. This is the bit that I recommend if you are serious about building a product-based business, because with private label sourcing, you can still have low MOQs or low minimum quantities. You can make it your own. You can make it your own, you can get your branding on it, you can get your label on it. And if it's, for example, makeup or skincare, what you can do, and again, being in the industry, is we call it private label or white label, where on the manufacturing runs, that same product will come off the end of the production line and it will go into different branded bottles. So I'll give you an example. Grey Goose vodka is the same vodka that's in the Costco bottle. It's the same vodka, it's just got different branding, and that branding represents the retail price. So we expect something that's amazing because that's how they've branded it. And it's no same for a lot of the products that you're using that'll be in your home, that you won't think, you'll think you're buying a better brand. It's not always the case. In fact, some of the time it can be just a different bottle. I have also been in factories where I just want to make sure you can still hear me, because I've got my webinar shouting at my audios a lot. There we go. So where was I? So yeah, you've got the likes of Matalan jeans coming off in the same factory as Calvin Klein jeans. Yes, it can be different fabrics, which will make all the difference, but you can see how private label sourcing works, and that's something that you can tap into without a doubt. Negotiating. If you're going to source, you want to negotiate low minimum order quantities. Well, that's what I mean by MOQ. Boohoo was an online business, and one of the we changed the industry because one of the strategies that was developed, and we tested and trialed that model, was only ever buying in small quantities. And actually in the industry, in the buying industry, not many retailers do that. They buy big volumes, one, because they've usually got a store to fill, but even when they've got online presence, they think they need to support that demand, they buy volume. Let me tell you, you are, especially as an independent business owner, you are putting too much risk if you buy high MOQs. You want to be able to test. You know, we talk about finding our perfect product, and about finding the product. But in a product business, things will, you will find that product work more than others, and you want to be able to test them. You want to be able to liquidate that stock, and you're only going to be able to test if you've got small order quantities. So it's really important to be able to negotiate that. Negotiating cost price and understanding profit margins. You want to have enough profit in there. There's no point slogging your guts out if you've not got some really good profit margins in there. So getting the best cost price for the best product, and that's the other thing. Sometimes people think they've got to go for the lowest price. That is not how a buyer works. We look at all the different factors. We look at design features. We look at quality. We look at what our competitors are doing. We negotiate based on the big picture. We negotiate based on how flexible the supplier is going to be with us as well. That's really important. And then sourcing your fulfillment strategy. I absolutely love building businesses for people who can take the hands-off approach. If you've already got a business, if you've already got, if you've got busy lifestyle, if you've got a coaching business or already doing something, fulfillment investing in fulfillment means that you're not running back and forwards from the post office. You are not picking and packing. You're not managing the back end of orders coming in and thinking, oh my God, I've got to get them out. You've got somebody doing it for you. Yes, it costs, but if you negotiate the right cost price and you've got enough margin in there, you can actually afford to do it. And for me, and again, everybody's different. I coach both, but for me, making 30% of something I don't have to touch. So I don't know if it's just gone off this, I'll repeat, making 30% profit of a product that has that I don't have to touch, that is run separately and just everything happens, the profit comes in. I would rather have that than 50%, 60% of profit where I am running around like a dog. Post office is picking, packing, sorting all of that out. So again, it's just choice, it's personal choice, but one of the things to look at is definitely fulfillment and your shipping. So I'm going to answer some questions. So, wholesalers as a sales channel. Yeah, you can approach wholesalers, absolutely. Wholesalers will so sorry, I think my connection is really bad tonight, isn't it? So wholesalers will basically, you can go into them and buy product from them. So but you can't change that product. So your product will be whatever they've got on the shelves. It won't be product that you can change. So if you can find a wholesaler who's got something you want and you're happy with the colour, happy with the branding, happy with everything, then perfect. All you need to do is get in touch with that wholesaler and go and see them, or there's lots of wholesalers online. You just need to type in, if it's a planner, to type in planner or diary wholesalers. And research on Google. A top tip if you're on Google is you don't want to just look at your first 1 or 2 pages if you're searching for suppliers or wholesalers. Suppliers in particular, because they don't use SEO. They don't build websites for people to find them because they have buyers like us who are in businesses who have a different network to find business from. So what you want to do is you want to go to page 10, page 15, search supplier, put in your product idea, and then go right into Google and start looking for them, because that's the only place you're going to find them. Does that help? Does that make sense? Yes, let's have a look. Okay, so average small volumes, it really does depend. From China, and which is where I would recommend, if you are buying anything skincare driven, anything supplements, anything where you're putting it on your skin, topical, you want to source from America, do not source from China. They have different standards and you won't get the product you want. And legality-wise and everything, I would really, really recommend you don't do that. So you would definitely source from the USA, even Europe. You can do it from Europe, but USA in particular. If you're sourcing anything that's household, any appliances, any planners, anything like that, you can source from China. I would say anywhere between 150 and 300 pieces. Sometimes, depending on if you've got specific molds that you need to have created, if you've got something specific you're having printed, because there'll be minimum printing runs, that can be anywhere between 250 to 500. So it's always at that beginning stage to negotiate with what you're looking for. I would recommend you always find around 10 suppliers as well, just initially to look at the costing. And again, just a quick top tip, what I would do is I would ask to look at their catalogue. Pick something out of all the catalogues or their product ranges that is very, very similar. Or if, I'll give you another example in a minute, but that's very, very similar, and cross-cost. So cross-cost with all the different suppliers and see what the prices are like. If they're all similar, you know that's your benchmark, and that's what the type of product with, you know, so many pages in, and you know what you're going to get. You can also, if you've got a particular product that you want somebody to create, if you've got the spec drawing, if you've got pictures of it, get the suppliers to all cost it, but cost it in the same way with the same materials in the same size, because then you can get a real average of what that cost price looks like, and you know then where to go from a negotiating perspective. So then reaching out to wholesalers and pitching our product to them so they'll stock it and sell it further. Yeah, you can absolutely do that with wholesalers. If you are a manufacturer, so if you are manufacturing the products, which is that what you're doing, they won't, generally what they'll do, if they're wholesalers and they're good at what they do, they will source direct from factories. So they don't, you can try them, but generally they wouldn't just take stock from somebody who was buying it from somebody else, because the middlemen, we call it middlemen, there's too many links in the chain, and actually that worked 10, well, probably longer, 15, 20 years ago, but since the world opened up and buyers travel and we buy direct from factories, there's less middlemen. So if you are manufacturing a product, then absolutely you can use a wholesaler. And actually you can use a wholesaler and retail your own stock. So you can do both, and you'll make more margin obviously on that one, and on your wholesale you're going to go for volume rather than profit. Does that answer your question? All you would need to do is find those wholesalers, and then you would just literally go in and pitch. So you would be saying that you have a line that you'd love, to share with them. This is what you can do. They would want to know how many options they need to buy, what colour packs. They would, they would need to know all of that detail. So if it's clothing, China is a really good option. Because it's your price. You can do it in the UK. So there's a couple of different options with that. You could source it in the UK and do a really small test and not make much profit on it to test and see how it goes, and then take it out to China, or you can just go direct to China. You do potentially get better fabrics out there. They're really good at clothing. So I would always explore the China route. And again, if it's they'd need to know your fabrics. So again, it might be that you want to buy some samples in of the types of fabrics, so you can understand, if you've got no experience of it, understand what the different lycra content, whether you need a lycra branding, because lycra is a trade name, so you can't call something lycra unless you bought lycra fabric with the actual in the product. Sorry, I'm mixing my words up there. But you can have elastane. You can have a 2-way elastane, a 3-way elastane, which can do the same job. So it's just knowing your fabrics, knowing what you want, and then in terms of getting your labeling on there, it can be as quick as using Canva or a designer to just get some designs going for you. And sometimes they'll have their own. So if they're specialist in a particular clothing product area you're looking in, you can say to them, what have you got, what you do for other competitors or other countries, and then you can, which is the bit I absolutely love, is product develop. So you can say, right, well, I want that like that, and I want it off that, and I want the trousers like that, and I want the top like that, and mix it all up so it becomes your own product. Yeah, you can sell. Yeah, I mean, maybe with stationery brands you can sell to wholesalers. It's worth exploring, but again, you would need to. It depends on the cost, because with a wholesaler, you're going to be paying them. They're going to want to make a profit on it. It depends how much profit they want to make on it. So yeah, you'd have to look at the whole costing exercise and make sure you're making enough of a cut to warrant all of that. Sorry if you can hear this clicking. I can't use my mouse when it's on the questions for some reason, so I do apologise. All these questions, I love this. Where would be the best area for paper printed product design? You could do both. You could do both, Denise. It depends whether it's going on clothing or not, but you can do both. China are able to do it. The best thing to do is, what we would do is get your design. We would look at the cost of it, colours, things like that, how many colours are in it, and then I would cross cost across both and see. You've always got to weigh everything up. It's like a little puzzle, cost, quality, detail. You will always get. China are brilliant at producing clothing, and some of the other areas UK can do it, but again, it just depends fabrics and things. So it's always about cross-costing and looking at both territories just to see what works better. So I think I've answered most of the, and I've got Q&A as well coming up, so you can answer some more of them. So sourcing, if you do this wrong, I'm sure you already get this, guys, because it was obviously a hot topic for you. You're going to invest in too much stock. You're going to have poor quality and you're going to pay too much. Sourcing is really, really important. So yeah, you don't want to invest in too much stock, you don't want poor quality, you don't want to pay too much. And the whole sourcing thing, what I do with my clients is run through templates in terms of how to speak to their audience, the suppliers, what to say next, how to get that best price, how to get the right quality and make sure you're not paying too much. So it's one of the things that I'm really passionate about, because it does happen. If you get it right, you're going to have a small test batch quantity and strong supplier relationships, that whole sample processing that you've got to go through. Never, ever, ever place an order and don't get the whole sample seal process, because you potentially will not know what you're going to get off the end of that production line. So that's another little tip for you there, ladies. Selling. Selling is the third S in success. That's a big mouthful, isn't it? So this is all about selecting the platform that's right for you. There's lots of different options, from building your own WordPress website that I've done. There's WordPress.org, there's Squarespace. You can invest in plugins to go in onto your already existing website. So if you've got a website, you can get plugins that give you an e-commerce aspect of it. Shopify is another one I've used, which is amazing. It's really easy to use. You've got Etsy, you've got Amazon. Amazon is something that I invested in earlier on in this year, because it's such a big player in the retail market that I felt that it was really important that I could build an Amazon business and then help others who are my clients to do the same if that was the right platform for them. It's not right for every product. Clothing, absolutely don't bother yet. They've not established themselves as a clothing platform. But actually being able to sell on Amazon and know exactly how to place that order, how to get the BSR up, how to do all of those steps, then is a really important part of what I do. And it's perfect for my clients who maybe don't have an audience and need to build one up, because it gives them another avenue to explore. So you've got to select the right platform that's right for you. And that might be a few of them. It might not just be one angle. You want to grow your email list. In any business now, we rely so much on social media, and it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, how many people have connected just because of social media? But you want to grow your email list, and for me, you've got to do it at the beginning. It takes time, it takes effort. But you do it through organic ways, so groups, friends, your ideal audience, but effective Facebook ads are the one way you can grow your email list. And this is one area I got massively burnt on in the beginning of my business, because everyone was like, do Facebook ads. Well, that's what I did. And huge investment, I can't even say it, but huge investment disappeared down the drain because I didn't know what I was looking at. My cost per lead was just ridiculous. I was looking at the wrong columns, and actually I got to the point where I invested, like I did with the Amazon, I invested with leaders who are, that is their thing, social media is their thing, to learn how to do it effectively. Because it's part of the product space, it's part of the product selling. If you can get that right, you're going to build a stable business. And then it's branding like a boss. We know how important visual is, but visual is really important when you are retailing a product. Everything has to be slick and stick together. It doesn't mean you have to spend a lot on it. Again, with my clients, we'll depending on their budgets and depending on what look they want, there's different packages we can use, there's different things we can do. It all depends on what you want, but those are the 4 key things to selling. Let me know, guys, who already has a platform, who already has a website they sell from, or a website they're doing other things on, or maybe a group you've already got. Let me know what position you are in, and I'd love to know if any of you have had any luck with Facebook ads. How do you get on with them? Have you done them? Do you know how to use Power Editor? Let me know. So yeah, let me know about your Facebook ads. Let me know about your self is really unreliable. Yeah, I agree. And you want to do things in your business that's going to give you that future income, that passive income where you are not having to put your time and effort in running around and doing things at silly o'clock at night to try and get it out there. You want something that's automated. Again, you want to automate who's coming into your business, how they're seeing your products, how they're seeing your services, so that you're not in your business doing the things like this. You're actually in your business product developing or doing your service-based part of your business, whatever it might be that like, makes you really passionate and really excited. You want to be focusing on that. It's just so much better for our energy, isn't it? So... So Denise Lee needs her life automated. Well, you know I'm going to be helping you with that, Denise. Yeah, it's just, why not? Why not make it automated? It's just, it's key now in any business to free up our time. I think there was a whole time where everybody felt that to be successful you needed to work 90 hours a week, and I was part of that crew, especially in the corporate world. You know, work more hours, you'll get further. Actually, in the online space, what we talk about is, yes, you've got to take inspired action. Yes, you've got to, we all know we've got to work hard, but make it productive and efficient. And that's what this whole section of selling is. You want to make it efficient and be able to get that automation in place. So I love that, Denise. It's really tickled me. Okay, so if you do this wrong, you'll have inventory collecting dust. The last thing you want to do is have inventory sat there. You want to turn it. You want to create cash flow. So you've got to get your selling platform, your marketing strategy, and all of those things in place. If you do it right, you're going to create that income in your business and create that strong brand awareness. Creating that strong brand awareness is going to be the difference between that stock being sat there or that stock going out the door. So you've got two choices now. I love this bit, and I absolutely love that door as well. So you've got two choices. You are either going to keep doing what you're doing, old ways, because sticking with knowing what you're knowing and not taking action and moving yourself forward and finding that product and sourcing and selecting and selling, it doesn't open new doors. It leaves us stuck when we don't do new things. I'm a really strong believer in trying and testing and doing something new in our businesses, in our lives as well. Or you have that choice that you're going to, you know, get that hustle going and do something brand new in your business, which is really exciting. And there's a couple of choices again. You know, you can go it alone. There's tons of content in what we've just spoke about. It can mean, and I've seen that, and I say this with love because that's what I see with clients that I end up working with, is they spend the next year before they've got to me and wasting money, time and energy, getting frustrated, going round in circles. Is that the right email to send to the supplier? Is that the right supplier? Do I want to pay them? Do I want to hand over that money? Is it the right thing to do? Is the product right? Or you can follow my guidance and launch your products in 90 days. And can you believe like 90 days is going to be, what, beginning of Jan? It's crazy, isn't it? This year it's just absolutely flown by. So your big question right now is probably how do I help you do that, which is exactly what I'm going to share with you, and then we'll move on to some more questions. So I run a 3-month creative coaching program. The way it works is, because I work with a diverse range of women, different backgrounds, different positions in their business, is we look at your whole business, we map out, we strategize. It's fun, so it's not like a business plan. It literally is looking at every element and every area of your business. Denise will tell you, she's on here tonight, that when we do start working together, I just get these ridiculous light bulb moments at silly o'clock, or wake up at times, and you'll usually find a message from me saying, "What about this? We need to do this. How amazing is this?" So we literally really get underneath your business, what your goals are, what's going to make your heart sing, and what change do you want to make in the next 90 days. We work through the 3 levels of selecting, sourcing and selling, and we get through them and we keep moving, which is the key, because we want to take that business to the next level. It gives you accountability, step-by-step process, learn. The thing with this is I work with independent businesses and small businesses on a consulting basis. I do this, I actually put this into work and physically do it for businesses. The thing with that is, every time they want to launch a product, they have to pay me, because they don't know how to do it. What I want for females who want online and are in that online space and female entrepreneurs, I want to be able to teach you my knowledge, my 20 years of knowledge, so that you can just go away and do it. You can keep repeating and keep building that product business, you know, and so you've got money coming in each and every month that's consistent alongside what you're already doing. How we work, the way it works is it's 12 over that 3-month period. It's 12 1-hour sessions, 1 per week, where we go through the process. Sometimes we spend more on one area than other areas. It completely depends on you, which goes back to the conversation around being multidimensional beings. We are all really multidimensional in setting out, this is what we do here, this is what we do here. We work organically, and if you need more time with sourcing, or you need more time on creating websites or branding, then we do that. So we work with what you need and what your business offers. Email access when you need that support with tasks. There's nothing like going away and implementing something and thinking, I've done it with my coach, like, oh my God, what did you say? Email support, email access just means you can just ask those questions and get it done. I'm all about getting things done. I take action. I like to tick things off my list. I like you to move through the program as well. Industry worksheets and tools, videos I'll record if you need extra support on how-tos, so that comes with the whole package. And you are basically, you're in control of your own business, and I'm just guiding you to be able to move forward with that. So what I'm looking for, it says I did this training on Sunday night and didn't press record, which was really, really silly of me. And at the time I had 4. On the Sunday it was 3, and we're now down to 2 spaces that I'm looking for. The reason why is I want women who are prepared to take action. I want women who are ready to make the lifestyle changes, ready to up-level your business, ready to go through that 90 days with action, so that there's a result at the end of it. And the reason being that I want case studies for my course launch next year in 2018. So I'm looking for women who are really passionate, who I can work with, who will get some results in your business. For a limited time, that offer for the 3-month or 90-day coaching package is 1295. The investment will be going back up on the 1st of January, which is the 1795 package. If this right now is not the right time for you, that's absolutely not a problem. It has to be the right time for you. I completely get that. But just be aware it will be at the normal rate of 1795. The 1295 is for now. So that we can make a difference at the end of this year. So going into 2018, you're all set up and ready to go. So any questions, ladies? Is there anything I haven't answered yet? Denise, oh my God, head is bursting with all your inspirational ideas. Oh, thank you, so sweet. Yeah, you're getting your head around sourcing. You still feel a little bit unsure from a sourcing perspective. Yeah, I get that. It's just making sure you do those steps. I did do, one of you just mentioned selecting products, Charlotte, selecting products. I did a 7-day challenge. If you want access to that and that was around the beginning bit of your picking your perfect product basically and working through the steps from a research perspective, then let me know and I can do exactly that. You can get access to that, that's no problem. So the next step, ladies, book your free discovery call to see if we're a good fit to work together. You know, we want to make sure that we both get the results that we want from this. So you can book your discovery call here, so you can see that. It's just on my website. You click a button and we can schedule it in and we can see what that fit looks like. Is there any more questions? I feel like we answered lots of them as we were going through, didn't we? So no, you're all good. That's amazing. Let's have a look. I want to make sure I don't miss any. I do apologise for this clicking. Click, isn't it? Yes, I'm glad you got so much from it. And you're very, very welcome. Let's see. There we go. I think I've covered everything. I think. Yeah, perfect. Okay, lovely ladies. I'm looking forward to getting those discovery calls booked. There's 2 places left. I would love to see if we're the right fit for each other. have a chat and see how we can move forward for the rest of the year, which is really, really exciting. Let me know how you got on, how you found this. Let me know you're putting everything into practice. Let me know which parts that really resonated with you, or things that you would be interested in knowing a little bit more about. If I can bring anything more to the table, then I will. So thank you, thank you, thank you, ladies. I've absolutely loved being on here. I think I've kept time. Yay! All on time and all planned in. Sorry, questions just popped up. Okay, amazing, Becky. Just if you use this link, or I'll post it in the group, and let's get booked and have a chat. So have an amazing evening, lovely ladies. Thank you for coming on, and I'll hopefully speak to you all very soon. Lots of luck on your product journeys. Night.